Hey guys, this is Hannah. This is my ET2 Task Level 4, which is developing a game for an educational purpose. I have decided to use Sploder here to demonstrate a game system. Now, the one I've designed here is basically the first level. I wanted to show you this. I've been looking at tutorials online just to get the basis of it. You might be familiar with this. It looks a bit like Angry Birds, but with a little bit twist. And as you can see, I'm just messing around with the buttons about the density of the objects movements. It's basically just setting up the levels, and this one here is how breakable it is. So we've got a basic catapult here that can move onto these structures, and the object of the game is the little brown circles. They're the enemies. So the goal for the level is using the catapult to knock down these enemies. The way you do this in an educational setting is using maths, which is angles and trajectory, and with science about the forces. Because when you actually do this, the catapult will be like that. And of course you set it up like this, so once that's crushed, you get a point for it. And you can actually set this up for any other game, which is good. And so you can see now that it is on gravity. Look, falls that way, and I am having problems here controlling the catapult and the way the objects are falling. So I'm going to have to sort that out. So by the end of this, you'll be just seeing a montage of the levels, and then I will talk a bit more about it. So I'll see you then. Alright guys, I am back. You just saw a montage of the levels. I've created 6 levels. So I want to talk a bit about the features of this. There are different ones in this, which are Arcade Maker, Classic Maker, and all that. So you can see level goals here, which you can observe. So this is a test for level 1, which I showed before. As you can see, I managed to fix the catapult so it moves in a straight angle. And as you can see, it is like basic gravity, so I think this is really good to use as a resource. So kids can actually play demos of this that have actually been created during this, and then use it in a technological setting. So they can use it in technology or digital technologies and all that. So I would say that you could use this in context with a science lesson and a maths lesson on what I mentioned before. So this is level 2 now, which is, I designed it a bit worse. Yeah, I'm having a bit of trouble here. So the basic trouble I'm having here is that there's not enough force to knock down the bricks, which means that it's a bit harder to kill them. So as you can see here, I'm lowering the density, so they're a bit better to break. So I've done this without every level, just testing it out, making it a bit easier, making it a bit harder. Just wanted to show like how the gameplay mechanics can change depending on how you want it to be. So as you can see, as it says there, level complete. So what I've set up here is the scores. You get a point every time you knock down an enemy, and I've said that as the goal, that you have to knock down all the enemies to finish the level. This is level 3 now, which I've created a bit more like spreading out instead of obstacles, so they have to be right on target this time. Sorry. So this now, you can see that it actually does with forces. So if I go for this now, I can't get it. So I need to move it up and then I get it. So it is teaching them about forces, that you can't go completely straight. And this is level 4 now, which I've actually designed a bit better. I've actually got moving platforms this time, which you will see in a moment. There, so you can actually mix this up a little bit, have moving platforms, different structures. I think this is a bit interesting, and there are many different options. You can see in the left-hand column there, you can have these shapes moving around in all sorts of different ways. You don't even have to have the catapults level. You can actually have a player character to control and attack these objects. I decided to use the catapult just because it's easier. And as you can see now, I'm having to fix this. So I'm making it every time the impact does, it removes the object from the game. I did this because we could see that one of the enemies was getting trapped. So hopefully now it will work. Yep, there you go. Well, I don't think really that helped, but I did it this time. So it's just the way that it's just bouncing around. You just have to focus on that, create levels. And next one now, level 5, which I had probably the most fun making. So we've got lots of moving platforms here with lots of enemies. It was a bit hard trying to keep them on because of speed, so I kept it at a good speed where they can keep bounce. So you see how it's getting harder, can't you? I've limited the amount of balls that are available in the catapult, which is an option, and then moving them up and down. And last one, level 6, I have doubled the size, which has been an option too. And this is probably the biggest you can get. And of course here we've got background. I forgot to show you this before. And playing field, of course, double size, and gravity features, and enclosed. And there's also options for music too, which the kids can really get into if they put music in their game. As you can see now, it's looking a bit more like Angry Birds. I just thought I'd try and create this to show you that gravity effect now. So as you can see, all the wooden planks have fallen down, and of course the enemies are hidden inside them. So that's going to be a challenge for students having to create a thing around this. And that's why I think it's good to use in technology. They can see this as a demonstration, and then you can set up design challenges around it. So creating a game for a certain purpose, but with constraints. So they can create this game for a certain audience and purpose, and they can also experiment with not just this physics maker, but all the other makers that are available, which are arcade creator, platformer creator, graphics editor, classic creator, and 3D adventure creator. There's just all sorts of fun they can have, and I'm just showing you options in the menu that you can use to manipulate objects in the games. And so as you can see, I'm just showing you here, like, there's all different stuff here that you can use to move around. And here's paint option. So this is what they're actually going to look like in the game. So students can colour them, make them more attractive than I have. I've just used the default setting. And this is the music I was telling you about before, just changing music. There's a lot of options here that kids can look at. And clipboard, just adding their objects into the world. Now, just talking about at the top, they really can't save or publish on this engine unless they are actual members, so they'd have to sign up to it. So I think there's like a school option which you can do, for you to do that. And I'm just showing you here the program that I used was Sploder, who actually had their own YouTube channel, which has tips and tutorials on each creator to help those creating the game. I actually want to say this now. I did this just because the help box wasn't helping. I just wanted to see how other people have managed to create it. So that's really it, I think. Let me just see if that is it. Yeah, from what I can tell, it says the education outcome I just want to do is just getting kids to know about the purposes of gravity and all that. So yeah, I'll explain everything else in annotations. So see you later.